depressed. You ooze, don't trust me. I'm a simp. All the jokes, I got numb to it. I had a chick tell me one time, I'm gonna put you on my God. You literally said in front of my face, I can't date no dude with a fatter ass than me. I remember how I felt the first time I heard that shit. That crushed me, fellas. I'm always alone. I'm always locked the fuck in. I don't be having motherfuckers over here. My nigga is 2 couches and his motherfucking camera and that's it. Fellas, I don't got no fucking cable. I'm not distracted. I'm not fucking around. No fucking signal. What's good, fellas? Welcome to another motherfucking YouTube video, man. I'm excited to be here, but kind of pissed that I am here because it's my second time recording this video, but we're not gonna sit here and bitch and complain about it, man. Today what we're gonna talk about, man, is 3 lessons that being obese taught me, man. As you know, fellas, I've lost over 100 pounds and got into the best shape of my life. And I've learned a lot of lessons from that. I've learned a lot of things about life, you know, going through that transition and just being in that present self of being obese. So I want to let y'all in on the 3 things that I learned the most while I was obese. Let's get into the video, man. The first thing that I learned while I was obese, while I was fat as fuck, right, is that you are a fucking mirror. What do I mean by mirror, fellas? What I mean by mirror is you are a direct representation of how you treat yourself, how you carry yourself, the food you put in your body, right? The confidence you walk with, right? The way you feel about you and the way that you treat you is going to mirror exactly how people are going to treat you, right? So you being fat, you being out of shape, you not being confident, right? You're going to ooze that aura, right? You're going to ooze that level of like unconfident, right? Ooze that level of depression if you got it. Ooze that level of I don't respect myself, and people are not gonna respect you, right? How would you expect a woman to trust you to make her feel safe, right? If you can't even trust yourself around a Snickers bar, right? How would you trust your boss to give you a promotion when he may not even trust you with the workload you may be getting with that promotion, right? All because you have no respect for yourself. All because you can't control the food you put in your mouth. All because you can't control what time you wake up in the morning in order to hit your goals, right? Or not even goals, standards, right? So you are a direct mirror of that, fellas. You are a direct representation of who you are and how you treat yourself, right? So that's what a mirror means, fellas. And one big thing you have to understand, fellas, if you don't respect yourself, no one else will. You can't expect other people to respect you, take you seriously, right? Know, like, and trust you if you don't know, like, and trust yourself. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't come out here demanding respect, wondering why motherfuckers is not hearing you, why motherfuckers is not fucking with you, motherfuckers is not giving you promotions, right? If you don't fucking respect yourself, you're not putting in the work daily, right? And it's showing. You can't hide that shit. You can fake aura all you want to. You can fake confidence all you want to. But deep down inside, you know you should be going to the gym. You know you should be waking up early, right? You know you shouldn't be eating no motherfucking Big Macs after work, right? You know you're supposed to be working on that business after work, right? But you're not doing that. And it displays it all in your aura, all in your confidence. Why? Because you wake up in the fucking morning depressed, sad, no fucking energy, right? You ooze, I'm depressed. You ooze, don't trust me. You ooze, I'm a simp, right? And it's all because how you carry yourself. So in order for that shit to change, you must change, fellas. And I got a quick story for y'all, man. Recently, I was at work, right? And some of my bosses came up to the place. The higher up bosses came over. And fellas, when I'm at work, I usually wear, a lot of baggy shit. Or when I'm not at the gym, I wear baggy shit. I don't really wear shit that emphasizes my physique because I just like to be cool, be comfy, and chill. But I recently got some new work uniforms, you know what I'm saying? So, I got a little size smaller. So the motherfucking sleeves was hugging, right? I was looking good in a uniform, right? I look like I'm in shape. I look like I work out. I look like I take care of myself, right? And the bosses walked in and they were like, man, I didn't even know you really jacked. Like, you really work out. You really do this every day. And fellas, I like to downplay my transformation. I don't be walking around telling people, oh, I lost 100 pounds, whoa, whoa, whoa. Unless I'm talking about it in a video, trying to motivate y'all, give y'all value, give y'all advice. I'm not out here displaying all that shit because, at the end of the day, right, I got a different level of standards for myself. So there's nothing to really fucking celebrate right now, right? But, compared to them, you know, they look at it as like this big thing, right? I don't look up at it, fellas. I look down on it, right? Not in a bad way, but just in a way like, yeah, I did that. What's next, right? But they seen that, right? And she was really, you know, impressed, intrigued about this transformation that I made, like how good I look, right? And here's the thing, fellas, being that I was that, right? I was that mirror, right? I look like I respect myself, like I look like that I have standards, right? The promotion I got, it only emphasized it more, right? Because they know that they'll be able to trust me when it comes to work ethic. They'll be able to trust me when it comes to being disciplined, because I've displayed that in my physique. I've displayed that in how I look, right? I've displayed that in how I carry myself, right? So me doing that has already bought, you know what I'm saying, respect points from higher ups, from bosses, right? And things like that, all because I took care of my nutrition, all because I took care of myself, fellas. So I tell you that story to say, man, like, if you want respect from people, man, if you want a promotion, if you want women to stop treating you like shit, like, it's all your fault, bro. It's literally all your fault. You have to make the fucking change. Stop pointing the finger, right? Stop complaining about why this chick ghosted you. Stop complaining about why they didn't pick you for the promotion, right? You gotta start taking some fucking accountability and stop pointing the finger. You're the reason that you're fat. You're the reason that you're lazy. You're the reason that your face look like shit. You're the reason that your hairline is fucked up. You're the reason that you're balding, right? What can you do to change that situation, fellas? And that's how you have to think. And that's what being obese taught me. Fellas, the second thing that being obese taught me is how to not give a fuck, right? And that may sound crazy, may sound a bit negative, but fellas, when you obese, when you overweight, right? Motherfuckers will still be cool with you, right? Motherfuckers will still befriend you, right? Simply because them telling a fat joke about you, them kicking the shit, framing it as a joke, makes them feel better about themselves. Everybody has that fat friend that they be like, hey, that's fat boy over there, that's fat guy. That was me, fellas. That was me in high school. That was me in middle school, right? I was fat boy. I was fat dude, right? And I found people befriending me and knowing me and fucking with me just so they can get their jokes off and feel cool, just so they can get their jokes off and feel better about themselves because they not fat and I am, right? And I started to realize that shit. I started to realize, man, these motherfuckers don't really fuck with me. They're just trying to get a confidence boost, right? And at some point, fellas, and this is a sad reality. When you fat, man, when you out of shape for a long time, you go through that acceptance phase of, this is what I am. It's probably not gonna change. I should just accept it. I don't give a fuck no more, right? It's sad. It's depressing, right? And people can go two ways in this situation. Either you use that as fuel to get better, or you just let it get you deeper and deeper in the hole, right? I've seen both ways, right? Obviously, I want y'all to have the success story like I had and like others have had. I don't want y'all to go into this deep, dark fucking hole and just gaining weight, right? So, you know, people will befriend you and fucking talk shit about you just to get their confidence boost, right? And I started to realize that, fellas, in the jokes, right? All the jokes, I got numb to it, right? I really didn't care anymore. Like, people would talk shit about me having man titties, my ass being fatter than a chick, all that. I've heard it all, fellas. I had a chick tell me one time, I was in class one day, and some dude was like, oh, what's up with my guy? I'm gonna put you on with my guy, you know, goofy high school shit. And she literally said in front of my face, fellas, nah, I can't date no dude with a fatter ass than me, right? Fellas, when you hear shit like that, I remember how I felt the first time I heard that shit, right? That took the cake. That crushed me, fellas, right? Once I heard that, that was probably one of the things that made me feel like, bro, I don't even care about the titty jokes. That right there, that shit, you know what I'm saying? It's like, wow, like, you know what I'm saying? People will really say some shit like that to you. You know what I'm saying? And it makes you numb, right? All the other jokes is like, all right, cool, whatever. I've heard it all before. Like, you just stop caring, bro. You just stop giving a fuck, right? And it's sad, but, you know, once I got to the other side of it, I took the lesson of how to not give a fuck, right? How to ignore the bullshit. How to, you know what I'm saying, take the negativity and turn it into something positive, right? Turn the pain into power, fellas. So once I got over obesity and shook back and got into the best shape of my life, right, I look back at those situations and all those jokes, and right, how I became numb to it, right, and it made me calmer, right. It made me a very, very cool, calm, and collected, a very, very chill individual, right. But fellas, back in the day, like, I was a top tier crash out. Like, I was a quiet motherfucker, but you know, at the same time, like, any little thing could set me off, and I'll crash out and do crazy shit. Fellas, I was the video game rager. I'll tell you that much, right? Like, I would be slamming controllers, yelling, screaming at the game because I'm losing. I was one of those, right? I was one of them motherfuckers. And I remember this story super vividly. That, fellas, this is how much of a crash out and how aggressive I was when I was younger. I was playing the game, right? And I was playing my nigga Quan in 2K, my guy Quan. And if you watch my videos, you know who Quan is. That's my dog. That's my brother, right? And he was busting my ass in 2K. We was playing online, right? And I was getting so mad. And I had this glass table that held up my TV in my room when I was living with my mother. I was like 17 at the time. 16, 17 or whatever. And fellas, I remember I was losing the game so bad. I was getting so mad. I was banging on this wood that was, you know what I'm saying, covered the table. Boom, boom, boom. And I got mad and I banged it again and the whole glass shattered, fellas. I shattered glass all over my room, right? And I remember that shit shattered, and I'm just sitting there like, wow, I really just shattered this glass in my room over a fucking video game, right? And it just made me like, wow, bro, are you serious? Like, this is how you acting over a game, right? When shit, and you don't ever realize shit like that, you don't ask yourself them questions till after the bullshit happened, right? But that just goes to show you how much of a crash out and how aggressive I was, fellas. Now imagine hearing these fat jokes every day. Imagine motherfucker scooping your titties, right? How much it took me to not crash out. Because I would crash out at home playing the game in my own house, right? But I wasn't, you know what I'm saying? I wasn't really the motherfucker to crash out in person, right? Because I knew that if I did that to other people, you know what I'm saying? That's not the representation I want to display about myself in public, right? But once I got on the other side of it, fellas, and I had to internalize those situations, you know, getting scooped, right? People calling me, you know what I'm saying, the fat jokes, everything, the whole 9 yards, right? I was able to internalize that shit, and I felt it, right? It hurt internally, but at the same time, I was able to, like, accept it and just, you know what I'm saying, learn how to deal hearing negative shit and continue to move forward, right? I knew that one day I was gonna change. I knew that one day I was gonna lose this weight. I knew one day my titties was gonna be muscles, right? I knew that shit. I knew it was gonna happen, right? I believed it. So when I started to really believe it, that's when I started to internalize the shit, and I just started to smirk and laugh, right? And something that really, really stuck with me, fellas, when it comes to not giving a fuck, right, is I've been using recently, it's something called the list of hate, fellas. And basically what the list of hate is you internalizing shit, right? People who did you wrong, people who talk shit about you, who didn't, you know what I'm saying, who looked over you, who didn't believe you would do something, right? I used to remember their names. Anybody who told me a fat joke, anybody who scooped my titty, right? I used to remember their names back in the day. And now I write the shit down in my notes app. And I write down the exact situation. I write down exactly how it made me feel. I write down what exactly they said in quotation marks, because I remember, right? I forgive, but I'll never fucking forget. You know what I'm saying? I would never fucking forget how they made me feel, how they talk shit about me, right? Never forget. Never fucking forget, right? And I'm able to use that, fellas. All those situations, all those people talking shit, I read that shit every fucking day, right? Every fucking morning, fellas, I read that shit, all right? And I advise you to do the same, fellas. Open up a notes app, title that shit List of Hate, and really, really take your time on it and write down every motherfucker who did you wrong, every motherfucker who shitted on you, every motherfucker who talked shit, right? And read it every day. And here's the thing, fellas, when you do that, when you read it every day, and you still do bullshit, you still don't accomplish what you need to accomplish, right? The shit that they was saying, the shit that they was talking, if you don't win, if you don't prove the motherfucker, if you don't prove yourself right, they wasn't talking shit, bro. They was just right. Think about it, bro. If a motherfucker said you're gonna be fat all your life, and 10 years down the line you still fat, 20 years down the line you still fat, 30 years down the line you damn near your deathbed obese as fuck, you laying down in that motherfucker bed like, damn, so-and-so was right about me, dog. So-and-so was right about me. I was gonna be fat all my life, and look at me now. right? They wasn't hating. It was just right. But that's why you need to fucking write it down, because you need to look at it every day. Don't fucking forget about what these niggas said about you, bro. Always remember that shit, right? And that's how I started to internalize shit, but at the same time, not give a fuck about what these niggas got to say about me. Because I know I'm coming, right? You coming from a place of we'll see, fellas. All right, anytime somebody talks shit, all right, we'll see. We'll see. We'll see. Oh, you're not gonna bitch that much weight? All right, we'll see. We'll see. Yeah, you ain't gonna have abs, bro. We'll see. We'll see, motherfucker, right? And when the motherfucking tables turn, right? When the shit they said I wouldn't be able to do happens, right? I ain't even gonna say nothing. We just gonna shit on them with success, right, fellas? All right, and we just gonna play back these clips, right? We're gonna play back all the bullshit that they said. We're gonna make a little video, put some B-roll in it, you know what I'm saying? Post it and let it be that, right? Let success be the revenge, fellas. But never forget how the fuck they made you feel. But at the same time, don't give a fuck about what these niggas got to say, because we'll see. The third thing that I learned while being obese, and I talked about this a couple videos ago, but it's how to be alone. Fellas, I remember in high school, right, I had people I fucked with, right, and I think I mentioned this a little bit earlier, but I had people I fucked with that I was cool with. I had a friend group, but you know what I'm saying? It wasn't, I could tell that they didn't take me seriously. I didn't, you know what I'm saying? I knew that I was the odd man out because I was fat, right? They could come after me type shit. Not in a bad way. Like I wasn't getting bullied or no shit like that, but you know what I'm saying? It was just different, right? And for the most part, fellas, when I got in high school, like I started to spend a lot of time alone, right? Because I got tired of hearing the bullshit, man. I got tired of hearing these motherfuckers talking shit about, you know what I'm saying, my weight, and I felt unconfident around them motherfuckers. It wasn't even them, it was just a me thing as well. Like, just got tired of being around motherfuckers, and I found more peace in being by myself, being alone, like being in my own little world. Like I found peace in that because I'm the only one who knew where the fuck I was going. I'm the only one who knew what the fuck was about to happen, right? So I wanted to spend as much time with myself as possible because that was my peace, bro. Like I knew, you know what I'm saying? And I love that I learned how to be alone for a long fucking time. For a long time, I learned how to be alone, fellas. When I was in high school, I just worked. I went to school. After school, I had early release. I would get out of school at 12:30. I would walk straight to Planet Fitness across the street, and after that, I would go to work. I would go work, school, gym work, school, gym work, school, gym work. Right, all through my last 2 years of high school, fellas. That's all I did. I was in my own little world. I was focused on making money. You know what I'm saying? Getting a check and all that, right? And I spent a lot of time by myself thinking about certain shit, what I was gonna do to lose this weight. You know what I'm saying? How was I gonna make more money? I just spent a lot of time on myself, right? And I was able to come up with some fucking ideas, man. Some of the ideas that took me to the next level. But that all came from being alone, right? That wasn't other motherfuckers' suggestions. That wasn't other motherfuckers' opinions, right? I didn't have to hear that because I was by my fucking self most of the time, right? And I'm glad, because most of y'all, man, y'all can't stand being alone. Y'all always gotta be around another motherfucker. Y'all always gotta be at parties, be drinking and doing a whole bunch of other shit, which is cool. Like it's cool to have social, you know what I'm saying, have social circles and shit like that. And I do now too. But at some point, every man must learn how to be alone. I've made my most growth not talking to motherfuckers. I told you, I made the video about going ghost. I made my most growth in that phase of my life when I was fucking alone, when I didn't really have nobody to talk to but, you know, my parents and some of my closest friends and my brother, right? That's when I made the most progress, right? And that's when I was moving the needle forward the most. That's when I started to progress slowly but surely. Alone, no distractions, no chicks, right? None of that shit. Nothing, bro. Just me and completely focused on what the fuck I'm doing. And it's just like now, fellas. I'm in a whole nother phase of my life right now where I'm restarting the process of hitting new standards, right? I've gotten in shape. I've lost 100 pounds, right? My next big thing is making this content, right? Really providing value for y'all, right? That's my next standard. That's the next thing that I'm chasing. That's the next thing that I'm working towards, fellas. And I spend a lot of fucking time alone, fellas. I go to work, I come to my own apartment, and I work on these videos, I edit these videos, I script these videos. That's all I fucking do. I don't do nothing else. And go to the gym. That's it. I don't go out, I don't go to clubs, I don't party, I don't do none of that shit. I am by my fucking self in the trenches, bro. Right? I don't want to be around that shit. You know what I'm saying? I don't want no distractions. I don't want none of that shit. It's just me right now. Why? Because I'm trying to get to the next fucking level. You know what I'm saying? And I can't do that unless I'm fucking alone. If I got a bunch of motherfuckers around me, steering me left and right, asking me. Fellas, once again, this fucking memory card keeps saying full. I don't know why I keep doing that shit, but I'm just about to go buy another one. This is the second time I'm recording this video today and that shit cut off on me. But the last point of the motherfucking day, like I was saying, brother, I'm always alone. I'm always locked the fuck in, right? I don't want to be around motherfuckers, and I'm in that exact phase of my life right now, fellas, right? And in order for you to do the same, in order for you to learn this same lesson that I learned when I was obese, fellas, I need you to think gym, right? Gym, work, sleep. Gym, work, sleep. Gym, work, sleep. You need to be focused on strictly that, right? And if you got a business that you're trying to build, you got any side hustle that you're trying to get to, focus on that after work, right? That needs to be your focus. And it's going to be fucking lonely. Like I put right here, it's going to be lonely, bro. It's not going to be fun. There ain't going to be a lot of motherfuckers around me. Don't nobody be in my fucking apartment. I don't be having motherfuckers over here. You see this motherfucking apartment, nigga? It's 2 couches and this motherfucking camera, and that's it, right? That's it. I don't have this motherfucking TV. Fellas, I don't got no fucking cable. I got an internet box. You turn this motherfucking TV on, fellas. I'll show y'all real quick. You turn this motherfucking TV on, fellas. It ain't no motherfucking cable in this bitch. This is decoration, my nigga. Right? I'm not distracted. I'm not fucking around. No fucking signal. I don't have cable. I don't bullshit. You know what I'm saying? Right? Not only am I alone, fellas, I'm locked the fuck in. Right? I don't want to have no fucking distractions, right? So that's the last lesson I had to learn, fellas. I'm sorry this motherfucking camera keep cutting off mid-video, but thank y'all for tapping in, man. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and I'll catch y'all boys in the next one. Peace.